Well, hello. Welcome to the Pitchy podcast. We are your hosts, James
and Stephanie.
Well, today, I'm just so excited. I'm over the moon excited. I can't contain myself. Stephanie and I both are just crazy excited because we just have another special guest, and we have just been so blessed to have multiple special guests come see us here on the Pitchy podcast. She was a top 16 contestant on seasons 22 NBC's The Voice, and, proved to be the artist that everyone had to have on their team, the Queen of the Steel. She started out with Team Camila. She then got stolen by Gwen and finally stolen by John. And, the precision and skill of her vocal choices, I tell you, gave us some of our most favorite performances of the season. So we'd like to welcome to the Pitchy podcast, Sasha, found her in the Amazon.
Yes.
I had to do it. Sasha, welcome to the Pitchy podcast. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, I'm so glad to be here. It's different hearing you guys' voices during the season and then actually getting to sit down and talk to you guys. So yeah, I'm super excited.
It's crazy because we call ourselves the little podcast that could, and we just had Stephanie and I just love to talk about The Voice for years, and I was like, one day we should do a podcast, and then Stephanie would post it, and then y'all started reaching out, and we became quick fanboy and fangirls of you all. So thank you again for your time, and let's just jump right in because we got a lot of great questions, and I cannot wait to hear, and our inquiring pitchies can't wait to hear what Sasha has to say with some of these questions.
Yes. Again, Sasha, thank you so much for being with us. Let's jump right into the first question. So, what did your life look like before you joined The Voice?
It feels like it's kind of, I've been singing since I was 8 years old, and it's kind of just grown more and more and more. But before The Voice, I decided in my teenage years pretty early on that I wanted to pursue music. I didn't really see myself studying anything in school. It's just always been music and creating, and that's always I've always had my heart set on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so before The Voice, I was just I feel like I was just dipping my toe in the world of song production and songwriting. I started writing pretty early, but I didn't start taking it seriously and trying to write songs that I feel like I could do something with until later on. And shortly before The Voice, I think a couple years before The Voice, I was doing that. And so I was gigging, I was doing cover gigs, solo acoustic, just me and a guitar. I started when I was 14 doing that.
Wow.
And so it was kind of just something that I did and that I loved doing and that I saw myself doing for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wasn't at the place that I am now, that The Voice kind of pushed me to
Right.
expand to. Because now post Voice, I've just been focusing on original music and really honing in me as an artist. I'd say I was doing that a year before The Voice, just really trying to promote myself as an artist and not
Right.
just a cover singer or somebody
Right.
that does it for fun. No, I'm doing this. And so The Voice was just kind of that stepping stone to getting myself out there. And then coming off of The Voice, I'm just taking my original music super seriously, just trying to do as much writing and production as I can and get it out so that way I can start doing ticketed shows for my own music, since I was doing cover gigs for years. And now I want to take that step to have people hopefully come want to listen because of my music and
Right.
not just kind of background music,
Right.
And so, yeah, I've just been getting together a band and writing, and I'm kind of taking those next steps that I really wasn't doing before The Voice, but I'm still grateful that I was in that place before The Voice because it kind of prepared me and gave me that time to now focus on it now, because I still think I gained so much even just from gigging and all of that stuff. So
Yes.
yeah.
Absolutely. Stephanie, you hear it. She said, back in my teenage years, do we need to remind this audience that Sasha is still very much a teenager? She's a late teenager, but she is nonetheless a teenager. And you were the one that I would always tell Stephanie, I was like, I need to check the birth certificate because nobody is singing like that young because this
No.
is nuts.
And just
So,
the way
yeah,
you
Sasha,
carry yourself on the
yes,
stage.
absolutely.
You,
I forgot you were
whether
18,
you
19.
whether you were nervous, I couldn't tell. Whether you, and I believe that a lot of your gigging and a lot of the things that you were doing prior to The Voice really set you up to have that presence that you had on The Voice. And I'm glad that The Voice experience, you were able to build on that now doing your own thing. So that is fantastic. It's amazing
Yeah.
how, your preparation and then another building block and then another building block will no doubt take you where you want to be in your career.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I couldn't have said it better. It's yeah, I feel like gigging just taught me so much as far as being a performer, and not only that, but an entertainer. Because like, you go to
Yes.
concerts and not only do they sing, but they talk to the crowd, they interact. Like it's a whole, there's just so much to work on if you want to be an artist that I feel like a lot of people don't think about. And
Yes.
like The Voice also just kind of helped like with that stage presence side and like what it feels like to really perform in front of a big crowd and like really cool important people in front of you.
Yes.
So yeah, all of that just together, my gigging experience, The Voice, it's just all kind of like prepped me and prepared me for what's to come. So yeah, I
And
definitely
Sasha
agree.
got to experience 75% of the important people in front of her.
Yes, absolutely. Which was amazing.
So speaking about experience, Sasha, what about the voice experience was a nice surprise to you?
I definitely think I feel like everyone says this, but it's so true. Like the family that you make when you're there.
Mhm.
Um, I'm very I won't want to say antisocial, but very introverted, and I find it hard to like go out of my way to make friends and just like get to know people because I'm like always the like observer of a group. I don't really
Oh
like I'm
yeah.
not bold. So going into it, I really wanted to like make friends and network and all that type of stuff. And it didn't really happen until like we started filming battles.
Mhm.
Because for the blind auditions, I was so nervous for the beginning process of it. And so I was just really to myself and like focusing on why I was there. And then battles came around and it was like, okay, I can let loose a little bit. Like I'm on a
Yes.
team. It's all good.
Hmm.
And I think Devix also helped a lot with that, just to kind of like push me to talk to people and get to know people. And like once I did, it was just so easy. Like I thought it would be harder, but everyone there is just so loving and supportive. And it's a competitive environment, but it doesn't feel that way at all when you're there.
Hmm.
Because everyone just truly like wishes everyone the best, and we were all just like a big family. So I think that, and even coming out of it, it's cool to like still be able to talk to those people and
Right.
support everyone. Um, I feel like that, and also I think the biggest surprise was like the amount of true artists that were on our season. I feel like The Voice, there's a lot of amazing singers, but
Yes.
it's like, do they songwrite? Do they
Right.
produce their own music, or are just cover singers?
Right.
And I feel like our season, I was just so inspired by everyone because they all were like writing music, had music out, or plan on putting out music. And it was like, okay, you guys are like doing this. You're not just like singing to be on a cool show and like whatever.
Right.
So that was really inspiring to see too. So I think those two things were like really cool surprises to come out of the show.
If we said it once, we said it 1,000 times. We think that this past season's bench was so deep
Yes.
with talent, like you said, not just singing talent, but just a multi-dimensional, multi-level talent. And you all, your voices were so eclectic,
Hmm.
just so came from different genres, and you could really see the artistry in the
Right.
way you all covered,
Yes.
because it wasn't, there were zero karaoke performances from,
Mhm.
especially when you all got to lives, there
Right.
were no karaoke performances, and it just kept getting better and better and better, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard for us, or for me, to understand like what the benchmark is for the, not the benchmark, but what another season looks like, because this is the first season that we've gone so in depth with, and this is the first season that we've actually gotten to talk to people. But it's been really cool because everyone that we've talked to has said it felt like a family. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was so generous. Everybody was so loving. And I wonder if this is just a really special season, or whether all the seasons feel like that. I know that there were at least a few of you, if not a couple of you, if not 4 or 5 of y'all, that were Christian. And some people hashtag this season the Jesus season. So I don't know if I do believe, I will say that I know that there is a correlation between how you all felt as a group and the spiritual component of where some of you were coming from.
Yeah, and it's so cool that you say that, because I also really felt that way going throughout it. Like I didn't expect, I don't know, just people's faith also inspired me, not only their talent, but their faith. Like, Justin, before every round, we would like either have a prayer circle, or even he would host like these prayer Zooms the night before our knockouts or our battles. And I cannot tell you how much that helped me, and like eased, like I just get really nervous before any performance, and it eased my nerves so much, because it just really, he like reminds you and gives you that confidence in God. And yeah, it was just really encouraging to get on those Zooms, and like everyone was just coming together in Christ, and it was really, really cool to see. And even now, like one of my close friends from the show, we like text about our Bible verses and all that and stuff. And yeah, and we want to start a Bible study together. So yeah, that was something I didn't expect, but I do think as well that added to just like the love and support of our season, because a lot of us truly felt like however far we made it, that's where God wanted us to go. And like, he was going to carry us where we needed to be, no matter how far we made it. And even him just getting us there on that stage to begin with was already a blessing. And I think a lot of us recognizing that kind of eased that competitive nature that sometimes these shows can have. And so, yeah, that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I love that. Okay, so what was one of the more one or two, whatever you want to say about it, something that was the most challenging about being a part of The Voice?
I feel like the obvious answer is probably like social media hate, because I feel like I wasn't on a spectrum so big to like where that many people knew who I was or ever heard me. And so like just putting myself out there to however many people watched The Voice was like, yeah, you're just, they kind of drop you into the pen of tigers, and it's like, you just have to, I was expecting hate, because obviously everyone's always going to have their opinions. But like, I wasn't expecting it at the level that I did receive it for, especially like my blind audition. And it was like, it was over things that I couldn't control as well. And so it was just so it was just, it was kind of hard to deal with that, but it also like helped me. It kind of pushed me closer to God. I was really leaning on him for confidence and all of that type of stuff. And not only that, but I feel like also once you get to the live shows, it's like the expectation of perfectionism, like considering all the unforeseen circumstances that people don't see or hear of that are when they're not on the show. Because I mean, there's like, we're using in-ears for the first time, a lot of us. You get not a lot of time to prepare with the band and with your songs that you receive. And so there's just a lot of things that go into it that I think people are quick to judge us, but they don't really understand how hard it is. And also I feel like A-list celebrities don't even sound perfect live when they're doing concerts or like award shows or whatever. They always sound amazing, but they're not pitch perfect. And I feel like people kind of expect that from us sometimes on the show, or ridicule us just for little things once you get to the live shows. So I think that was also kind of hard to be like, well, you guys don't understand. It's hard, but yeah, all of that helped me in a way. It pushed me and it helped me grow. So Yeah, and it's kind of something that like you have to get used to. Like if you want to be in the business
Yes.
and the industry, like there's always going to be people that don't like you. And you
Right.
just kind of have to learn to like do your thing and ignore it. So I feel like it was also just a learning experience for a lot of us.
It's so interesting because Stephanie and I go to a church where the tech for the worshipers is it's advanced for most churches, and people would always come up to like Stephanie and I and say, "Oh, I can do what you can do," and I used to tell people like, "Really?" Because I want to see like because they don't have any clue sometimes. And again, that's to their ignorance because they've never experienced it, and that's fine. But when people first experience inner ears, when people when you have to do sound check and all the things that go on backstage with, like you said, with production, people
Right.
don't know
Right.
that you just don't go up there and sing.
And they don't realize all of the work that goes into making the finished product look as effortless and as clean and as perfect as it does.
Yeah.
Not knowing that we can't hear out of one inner ear, that the drums are way too loud, that the light is in my face, so I can't see. Why are you squinting? Because I can't see. So we're hoping that
they're behind on the confidence monitor.
Right. The words are not on the monitor. And there are a million verses to the song. So what I'm loving about this podcast and these interviews that we're having with all of you is we're getting to shine a light on some of these things that our regular viewers might not know that you guys have to go through, that might hopefully give them a little bit of perspective when they're thinking about making a pitchy comment, giving them some background knowledge about why, about the all you guys have to go through, and that all the choices that you make may not even be your choices. It's because this is a TV show in the end.
Yes.
So
yes.
I also, Sasha, like Kelly Clarkson told me, what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. But how you leaned on your faith, because as we all know, haters are always going to hate.
Mm-hmm.
Always. But that doesn't, I mean, we can say that to ourselves. It still doesn't help.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So we need to do something. We need to do things like lean on our faith and lean on our trust in God.
Yeah.
To in times like that, because this is a very nerve-wracking, very introspective industry where where we second guess ourselves all the time. Like, okay, do I really have the talent? Oh,
right.
Well, so-and-so just tore it up. I can't do that.
Right.
And, all that inner voice, all those inner voices that we hear. So thank you for sharing that with us, that you leaned on your faith during those haters are going to hate times. That's awesome.
Yeah, I definitely did. That's for sure. But,
so my next question is kind of a two-part question, and I am Stephanie and I both love this question.
We love this question.
We just can't wait to hear what your response is. But so the first part of the question is, what has been your favorite performance of the season? Yours and or performance period of another artist.
Okay. Oh, that's hard. Oh goodness. Okay, I feel like for myself, it was probably my battle with Devic's Electric Feel or my knockout, one of the two.
Girl, we can sit here and talk about both of them for the next 2 hours, an hour each.
I was hoping you would say.
I was hoping you would say at least one of those, because they are definitely our favorites. But go ahead and share why they are yours.
I don't. My battle, I feel like, was one. Honestly, I feel like it was the only round that I really got to like tap into that artistry side. I've obviously not a lot. We can't control everything sometimes in what we sing on the show and what we do. And
Right.
I feel like Electric Feel, I was actually like really disappointed when I got that song, when me and Devis got that song,
Wow.
because I was like, people on my team were getting like these big, like just powerful songs that I could like hear the harmonies to. And I was like, dude, they're gonna be so amazing. And I didn't even know the song also when I got it. So I like immediately went to listen to it once I got off that call. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is what they gave us. And like these people got these songs. And
Right.
so, like initially, I was kind of upset about it, and then like me and Devix met for the first time, and we started talking about like the arrangement, and we kind of both just really like clicked immediately, and we both had the same ideas, and we were like, we really want to strip it down and like make it something that nobody's gonna expect when they hear the song Electric Feel. And yeah, we really wanted to highlight harmonies and just like to show off our vocals, because I feel like that song can be kind of more of like a performance, fun, feel good type of song, and we wanted to
Yes.
make it more powerful than that. And so yeah, we just sat down with it, and I feel like it literally couldn't have it turned out exactly how we wanted it to turn out. So I just look back and I'm like, I feel so proud of us because we worked so hard on
Oh,
the
we
arrangement
know.
of that
We know.
song. We took like hours just like in his room just singing, like we just yeah. And then there's so many rough drafts that we changed and like stuff we took out, and like the final product was exactly what we wanted. So I always look back and I'm like, oh, that makes me so happy to think about. So yeah, I definitely think that about my battle, and I think my knockout was also like a pivotal moment for me on the season. um
I had to make a stanky face. I had to make a stanky face, Sasha.
oh my
Oh,
gosh,
You made it rain.
you
you
met.
guys are so
Oh,
sweet.
I hadn't, I'll say this real quick and then you can share any more that you want to share about that. But I had faintly remember hearing that song. But when you started, I was like, oh, what is this song? And then I heard the Ed Sheeran version. I was just like, this is it's an incredible song. Was this a song that you chose, or was this a song that was given to you?
Yeah, so this was one of the songs that was like number one. Like I really
Okay.
wanted this for my knockout song. And I actually like I did get good feedback, but I remember like some of the coaches saying that it was like a boring song choice for me. And it was kind of like they didn't air that, I don't think, but I do
No.
remember hearing that and I was like, man. But I picked that song because I felt like I hadn't got to like show all that I could do vocally yet. And I really wanted to just like I had been stolen before and I felt like I had something to prove. So
Yeah.
I chose that song not necessarily because it's exactly my genre or like what I would do as an artist, but because I wanted to show stuff that I could do that I hadn't gotten to in the past. And the knockouts were like a three-way. So I was like,
Yes.
I was really intimidated by that. And I was like, I want to do a song that just makes me stand out. So I chose that song. And yeah, some of the coaches were like, I just feel like it was boring for you. And I understand that.
I
Did you
don't.
But
did you catch in the playback what Blake
I
said? I
was going to
mean,
say that. I was going to say
did you
that.
catch that? Did you catch what he said about you?
yeah, I did.
Contest.
And no lies detected. Like you were the best singer on
Yeah,
that stage.
you.
And
It
it is
was.
amazing to me. It's amazing to me that they thought that that was a boring song choice, because I think that I felt what you might have felt picking that song. There is so much space to do whatever you want to do to show yourself off vocally. And that's exactly what you executed. And that, when done well, as you did, that song makes you feel. So I don't know if they were looking for something more up tempo or what, but I mean, I was worshiping through that song when you were
The colors
performing
you
it.
chose, the vocal colors that you chose, Sasha, especially at the end
Yes.
when you had just really sang the stage, torched
Down.
the stage, and like you came out of it and you were still just. We were like, is she still going? That was bananas.
It was bananas.
Crazy,
It was
Sasha.
bananas.
It really was. We were just like, if she does not win this thing, because you really left it all on the stage.
You did.
And you
You
were
did.
like, I got something to prove.
I mean,
And it was a battle. It truly wasn't. You knocked it out.
You did.
Thank you. Yeah, and I remember Gwen saying that it was only boring in the sense that she felt like she didn't get to know me as an artist through that song, which I can see
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And I would just kind of responded with I guess I went in with the outlook of like I have to sing for my life. That's what I felt like.
Right.
So I chose the song that would hopefully do that for me. But yeah, but I mean all of my feedback was so great, and I just remember coming off the stage that day or being up on the stage being like if I go home like I feel good, like I feel
Good.
validated, I'm proud of that performance, and I was just kind of ready for whatever was gonna happen.
Hmm.
So yeah, I couldn't have asked for better feedback.
That's
Yeah, they couldn't
awesome.
let you go. They
Mm-mm.
couldn't,
Mm-mm.
Sasha.
No, I was like, somebody got to steal her.
Right.
She's got to be stolen. If
So
she's not going to
Sasha,
be picked out right,
whose performance? Whose performance was your favorite of the season? Or you could have a couple. It doesn't matter.
hmm
Okay. I'm gonna think through okay, so Omar's Separate Ways
What?
was my favorite blind audition. I was blown away. Like I could not believe it.
Were you there or were you in his group for blinds?
No, but I just remember like people were talking about it. And so like the anticipation, I was like, dude, I want to hear like I didn't hear him sing. I was like one of the few people that didn't get to hear him sing before like the season.
okay.
And I didn't even hear his battle either. So I was like, I don't know how he sounds. And I just remember like watching it air in real time and I was blown away.
Right.
And so yeah, his was definitely my favorite audition.
Okay.
And I think my favorite battle was Justin and Destiny. Um I was like
A
up on
lot
my
of people
feet.
are
A lot of
saying
people are,
that.
yes.
Like Justin.
I I just could not believe it. I was like up on my feet. It was crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was my favorite battle for sure. And yeah, I can't remember. I don't know if I could pick one for the lives. I feel like anytime Omar sang, I just loved everything.
hmm
So I think anything by Omar, and of course, like Devix is amazing. So I always
Yes.
loved watching his.
Yes.
But
Devin
yeah.
Arctic Monkeys. Oh my
Ooh.
word.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. And he sent me like the band rehearsal track before like he
Oh,
even did it because I was sent home already and I
Right.
was like, this is so good. Like
Yes.
if you don't make it, this is dumb. So yeah, I was yeah.
That's how
yeah,
we felt.
yeah. I had asked him. I was like, "Is that Omar? Does Omar really sing like that?" Like, yeah,
She
that's
said
really
yes.
Yeah.
Well, you had the opportunity to work with three different coaches.
crazy.
You worked with Coach Camila, you worked with Coach Gwen, and you worked with Coach John. So could you tell us a little bit about the best thing about working with all three of them?
Yeah. I feel like I didn't get to know them on the level that other people did because I
Right.
jumped around so much. But yeah, with Camila, I think it was just like her energy. There was something about like working with her. She just kind of felt like a friend.
hmm
And it did never feel like, oh, I have to sound perfect right now or like she was judging me or anything. It did feel like really like she was just a coach. She was there to help us and she wanted us to do our best. And I think like one of her best qualities was just really like focusing on stage presence and not in the way of like looking choreographed, but just having fun.
hmm
Because that was something that I struggled with for a while. Just I'm a really bad perfectionist, so I had the tendency when I was younger to just like be in my head an entire
hmm
performance and just not even like be in the moment when I was
Yeah.
singing. So she really just honed in on just let go and have fun. Like I remember her telling me in Devix for our battle, she was like, "You've got everything. Like it's here." She was like, "Now
Yeah.
when you do your practices, just have fun. Like practice
hmm
having fun, and it will look like that on stage.
Yeah.
And it will
Yeah,
feel like
wait,
that." So
can I stop there for a second? Was it crazy? Little side question: was it crazy to perform in front of Charlie Puth? Like,
yes.
I know you must have been like,
I was. Oh my gosh. And it's so funny because we were so bad. Backstage, we were like begging people to tell us who is it? Like you have to tell us. Like we need to know. And I was so wrong. I think I thought it was going to be Ed Sheeran, or I don't remember who I thought, but I was not expecting to the level that Charlie Puth is at.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, Ed Sheeran's massive too, but
Yes.
I just don't even know what I was expecting. So, and we were all nervous that we weren't going to know who it was, because then we were like, well, what do we do if like we don't know who it is?
I always wonder that.
So yeah, I was like, well, I'm just gonna fake it if I don't know
Right.
who it is. So yeah, we were walking up, and I like Devix was so late in response, but I was like freaking out. But Devix was so calm. I was trying to act cool,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh my god, it's Charlie Puth. Yeah, so it was crazy to like even just like hug him in person, and like it was crazy.
And Charlie
And
was falling all over you all. He was like, that was crazy. That's how I
Yeah.
knew it was going to be special. I said, Charlie Puth
Right.
is talking about how crazy that duet was going to be. I said,
Right.
this is going to be nuts.
Yes.
that was like one of my favorite moments of the show, was like he loved it so much, and like I just remember them saying like this might be our favorite and all that stuff, and like they didn't air so much because they have to make it so small, but me and Devix were just sitting there like smiling from ear to ear, because to hear that kind of stuff from Charlie Puth was like crazy.
Right.
So yeah, that was really cool.
And John just so happened to say that was his favorite of battle too. Like I was like, yeah.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh, did he? I didn't even know that.
Hmm.
that was my favorite battle of
Yes.
that was my favorite battle. He did.
Oh,
He said it.
cool. Well,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, but yeah,
So
um,
then you moved over to Gwen.
yes. So yeah, I tell people that people are like, "Who was your favorite coach?" And I think it was Gwen. I loved all of them, but Gwen was just like she was kind of like a motherly figure in a way. She had a way of being like helping you out, giving constructive criticism, but also like in a very loving, supporting way.
Hmm.
And hers was kind of similar to Camila as far as like stage presence. She's very much a performer. So with all of us, me, Deja, and Alyssa, she just really honed in on like what we were gonna do on stage, and like our facial expressions. That's one thing that I had to work really hard on for the knockouts. Because I remember them telling me like there's like you have to make people believe what you're singing with your eyes. And that's something that I was like, what do you mean? And then I like videoed myself, and it was like, yeah, you can tell if you're thinking or if you're like actually emoting the song. So I worked on that in the mirror a lot before my knockout. And so yeah, Gwen taught me a lot of that, and yeah, she was just really fun to be around, honestly. It was just easy to like work with her. So yeah, I loved
They
working
said
with her.
other artists said she's very maternal, very like you felt
Yes.
she was your mom.
Yeah, like Alyssa called her mother Gwen, so which is very accurate. And she called us like her little muffins or something, the three of
I
us,
love
because we were the teenagers on our team.
it.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, I loved Gwen. And then John, I will say John was like the one coach that I was like the most intimidated to work with.
I bet.
When he stole me, I was like, this is great. And then I got sent home, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh, like in like a month, I'm gonna have to sing in front of him, like one on one. And I was like, that's scary. So yeah, he was definitely the one I was most intimidated to work with. But he was definitely more like vocal focused, which I was expecting from him. Which honestly, it was great, because I feel like for lives, yes, it's the stage presence, but also just like honing in the live vocals and that kind of stuff. So that was good stuff to learn from him. Um, but yeah, I feel like with John, I didn't get as much time to like get that experience enough to like have a lot to say about him, but he was cool. But I was definitely intimidated by him the most.
Yeah, John's no joke. He is no
Yeah.
joke. So this next question I have for you, I'm gonna make it a little bit more difficult because the answer cannot be Devix. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So my next question for you is: who out of the other artists on the show, other than Devix, would you want to do a duet with, and why?
Okay. I feel like I would have loved to sing with Grace Bello. Um, I love her. She's like one of my closest friends now,
Really?
even off the show. Like
Stephanie
we,
and I, like, we went crazy over Grace's voice. Like,
yes,
we were like, I've never heard a voice like that
Right.
before. Like,
it's,
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 it's not of this world.
no, yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. Every time she sings, I'm like, you sound like an angel. Like,
Yes.
how do you, it's just like
Yes.
so innocent and pretty. Yeah,
Yes.
angelic.
Yes.
And so yeah, we text all the time. We'll send each other Bible verses and all that. So I love her. Um, but yeah, I definitely would say Grace. Can I say more than one?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
absolutely.
Probably I would love to sing with Omar, but I would be scared to sing with Omar.
No, you can hang. You can hang.
You
You can
can hang.
hang.
You can
You
hang,
can
sis.
hang.
You really can.
Yeah.
I just feel like it would be so fun to just
Yes.
like sing a big song with him and harmonies, like belting
Absolutely.
harmonies. That would be so fun.
Yes.
And I think number three, I'll do three, is Kate. I love Kate. I think she's so talented. Her knockout, I was like, what the heck? You're amazing. So yeah, I think those are like my top three that I would have loved to sing with.
Your Electric Fields and Kate's what was it?
Anyone.
Anyone.
By Justin Bieber.
That, Stephanie will tell you. I played those back so
Many
many
times.
times.
Mm-hmm.
Like over and
Mhm.
over and over. Like I was telling Devix, I said, I took Electric Fields and Stephanie and I, like, we can analyze just, we can't even get through a line on Electric
Right.
Fields without analyzing the brilliance that you all brought to the song.
It's so true.
And Kate, we're all Christians here. We just know how anointed that girl's voice is.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, Stephanie will tell you I was sobbing.
Yes.
I was like, this is a Justin Bieber love song. Like, what? I said, but I know who she's singing to.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
sobbing.
Yeah. And this is very
Yeah.
interesting with Grace. You were at least the second person that has
Yep.
brought her up.
Yep.
And it is so cool
I wanted to duet with her.
that wanted to duet with her.
Oh.
And I just think that is so cool, especially from our vantage point where she did not have a lot of time on the show, but her presence and her voice really made an impact. So
Yeah. She was especially one of Stephanie's favorites.
Oh,
Stephanie
I loved her voice. I let her. So yeah, let her know that she's in demand.
Yes,
a lot
she
of people want to sing with her.
Yeah, and I mean, even her blind audition, I feel like it's one of the most popular of the season. And like, yeah, she had a short run, but like, she made a statement. So
She sure did.
really did.
I was upset when she went home. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I mean, Stephanie and I, that's one of the first times we got mad. We were like, really? Really? I know this is a TV show, but really?
yeah,
yeah.
Because I think if she would have made it to Lies, it'd have been bananas.
right, right.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it'd have been
Absolutely.
crazy. All right, so my last question before we go to our rapid fire questions is, what is something you almost said no to? And this could be in life, this could be in your career, but you ended up saying yes, and it worked out really well for you.
I feel like that's really hard. I'm like the type of person that I try to take any opportunity that I can get. So I feel like I
Hear you.
haven't said no to a lot of things. I try not to, but I guess there was like, so I was on American Idol when I was like 15. I turned 16 in
Oh.
Hollywood Week, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like top 60. I made it like to the last round of Hollywood Week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like a completely different person then than I am now, like an artist.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say at that time, I think I had gotten a callback for The Voice in the same year because I've auditioned for The Voice multiple times before I made it on.
Okay.
And so I had to choose which one that I wanted to do because I got a call back from Idol too. And
Not bad.
and so I ended up choosing Idol. And I really feel like that was God's way of preparing me for The Voice later on because my run on Idol was like just not not good for me mentally. I feel like it forced me to grow so much. Like getting off of Idol, I was like, okay, I have some like reevaluating to do. Like, who do
Mm,
I want to be as an artist? Like, what do I want my look to be? What do I want my
Mm-hmm.
sound to be? I was
Mm-hmm.
just kind of confused, and because of that, I didn't feel confident when I was on Idol because everyone around me was so established that I was like, I feel weird even being here. And so therefore my confidence was like really low on my entire run of
Right.
Idol. So it just like wasn't really an enjoyable experience, not because of the show, but just because of where I was at with my career and my head. And so like coming off of Idol that year after, I grew so much in so many different areas of my life. So I feel like I needed that to like push me and prepare me for what was to come. And I think God also knew like I wasn't ready for The Voice at that time.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, everything kind of just, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And now looking back, I can be like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah.
That's
that's great.
fantastic. And we are,
All right, Stephanie, one of my favorite parts of the podcast is
yes,
your rapid fire questions. So,
I love
Stephanie,
these.
take it away.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a statement or ask you a question, and you just tell us the first thing that comes to mind. Okay?
Okay.
Here's the first one. What is the first thing that you check on your phone in the morning?
My text messages. Yeah.
Yeah, I told somebody it should be the Bible app, but God is still working on me.
Me too.
All right, well, we'll work on that together. Okay, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my gosh. I've never done karaoke a day in my entire life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Never
so
have.
if you went, what would it be? What would you want to sing?
I feel like, oh my gosh, this is hard. Why is this hard? Maybe I want to dance with somebody.
I
Whitney
love that.
Houston.
Come on, some
I
Whitney.
love it.
Yes, I love
Oh my
that.
gosh. Steph, imagine if Sasha would have made it to the part to the lives where everyone's saying Whitney. I'd have lost my
I would have
mind,
lost it
Sasha.
too.
I'd have been like,
Oh,
Sasha.
I can hear you singing that.
Absolutely.
Can't you hear that, James?
I can hear you singing a lot of
Oh,
Whitney songs.
somebody.
Like, really. And
Yes.
you know
Yes.
not everyone can sing Whitney, Sasha.
No, absolutely. Okay, next one. What is your favorite comfort show or show to binge?
I have two. It's Gilmore Girls and New Girl.
Okay.
Gilmore Girls. Wow. Blast
I'm
from the
obsessed.
past.
Yes.
I'm quite literally obsessed. I've rewatched it so many times.
Good one. Okay. What is your favorite season and or holiday?
Fall is probably my favorite season. I love spring, but pollen is just like the death of me, so I
Right.
can't do spring. And I think my favorite holiday is Christmas.
Love Christmas. What is your favorite snack?
Takis. I know they're so not good for you, but I love them.
What are they?
Takis.
What's a
Or
tacky?
I know some people call them Takis, but I call them Takis. They're like the corn, like rolled tortilla chips that are like covered in that red, like dust,
Oh, yeah.
like the purple bag. Yeah.
Yes, they are good. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. I should say tea because I'm a vocalist, but
Yeah.
coffee.
Yes.
Say tea. I'm
Yes.
being a good singer. But
What is the album that you always come back to?
Okay. Anything by Harry Styles, Harry's House, probably.
Oh, so you were happy last week.
Yes. Yes. I really was. I was so happy for him.
It's a good album. It really is a good album.
it is.
I love Harry Styles. I feel like he's gonna be like Freddie Mercury, just like an icon
Yeah,
forever.
absolutely.
Yeah,
He's definitely on his way.
Harrison. Look at you. She knows her history.
Yes, yes.
Yes. I see that too, totally.
Yeah, my mom educated me on the histories.
I know that's right. Good.
James, raise right. Raise right. Hashtag raise right. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I feel like it would also be Old Church Basement by Maverick City. I love that
Ooh,
album.
come on.
Yeah,
It's a great
yeah,
album.
Yes,
Great
it really
absolutely.
is.
album.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see
Yeah.
their Tiny Desk? By the way.
They have a tiny desk?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it right
Oh yeah. It's good. It's very good.
They have an awesome Tiny Desk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did it
Okay.
last year.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to watch it.
Yes, you do. It's excellent. Okay, here's your last one. What is your dream celebrity collaboration?
Harry Styles. Yeah, I would probably try. Yeah, I mean, ever since One Direction, like I post the photo because it's so funny, but like when they had their movie documentary, I went to
Yeah.
see it in theaters with some of
Yeah.
my friends, and
Yeah.
like my mom made us little t-shirts,
Oh,
and we all chose like our favorite band member, and mine had Harry. So I've been a stan since like day one.
Nice.
So yeah, definitely Harry Styles.
Stephanie, can I ask
Yeah.
you? I'm gonna flip it on you real quick, Stephanie. Who was your favorite boy band of all time?
Oh, okay. Listen. In sync. In sync.
Okay.
And let me tell you, when she was talking about when Sasha was just talking about the t-shirt, me and my friend Carla went to the NSYNC concert in Philly, and we had a t-shirt that we made. We got craft stuff from Michael's, and we made our t-shirt, and we had jeans that we had scribbled all over with NSYNC stuff. And it was so funny because the local news station was there. They interviewed us. And my mom tells me when I get home, we saw you on the news talking about NSYNC. I was like, yes, NSYNC, NSYNC. If they ever reunite and have an album and go on tour, they can have all of my money, all of it. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Harry Styles. I would
Yes,
spend
I
my
feel
entire
you.
life savings on
Yes,
That's awesome. That's
I
awesome.
feel you. I feel you.
Steph, do we have a bonus question? For
Oh, we
Sasha?
do. We do have a bonus question, and this question is kind of birthed out of conversations that James and I had today because it's a very relevant question. So, did you happen to see the Super Bowl last night?
Yes.
So that means that you saw Mr. Chris Stapleton's performance of our national anthem.
Yes.
What were your thoughts on that?
Every time I hear Chris Stapleton sing anything, I'm just like, how is this real?
What's
Uh,
this?
yeah, and I am not even like I could not name a country song to like for the life of me. I don't listen
And
to
you're from
country.
Georgia?
I know, it's so but I guess I could because like I grew up singing Carrie Underwood, so I guess her. But
Right,
anything else, I'm like I don't know anything. But Chris
right.
Stapleton, anytime I've seen a video of him, because he's not like country, he's like soul,
There you
and
go.
it's like ooh, I don't know, he's so amazing. Yeah,
He's like old country because a lot of people don't know like country came out of like bluegrass and soul and country kind of evolved from that. So
Right.
he's like a throw. I am still shook from that.
We are shooketh.
star-spangled banner.
We are shooketh.
That was bananas.
Yeah, I was
yeah,
in my.
and
I was. Go ahead.
and like the new meme, like the meme of that man crying, that's like me. That was
Oh,
me when
that's the Eagles. The Eagles coach. Yes,
Yeah.
That's what I think I posted something on Facebook today saying he literally had grown men crying at the sound of his voice, and I can
Yeah.
I was almost in tears. Like it was just something that like it just hits you right in the soul. It really
And
did.
it's effortless.
Yes.
yeah.
Effortless. Kind of like you, Sasha. Whenever
Mhm.
you sing, Stephanie
Absolutely.
would always be like, you know what, Sasha makes it look effortless.
You did. You
And
did.
that's why we're big fans.
Huge fans.
So,
Yes.
Sasha, before we close, can you please let our audience know anything you want to share about what's coming up next for you? I mean, we know what's coming up next, but the Pitchies want to know, especially maybe some of our local Pitchies to where Stephanie and I might live, and where they can go to keep up with you on the socials.
Yeah, well, all of my social media is at Sasha Hurtado Music. And if you want to know anything as to like show dates, my bio, or literally anything about me, it's probably on my website, which is sashahurtadomusic.com. So that has everything. If you don't want to just go search, you can just click links and it'll bring you right to it.
Love it.
So yeah, that's the place to go. For what's coming up, I have a single coming out tomorrow, but at midnight. So in a couple hours, I'm so excited. It's called Someone. So yeah, if you want to stream my music, I'm going to be putting out more music. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. I have two shows this weekend with Devix. One of them is
Woohoo!
ticketed, so get tickets. And yeah, and then I have a show here in Georgia, April 26th, also with Devix. So yeah, if you're in
Oh,
the
queen.
Atlanta area,
I love
then
it.
yeah. So yeah, that's what I have coming
Awesome.
up.
Well, Sasha, thank you so much for joining us today. Really, it's been wonderful.
Yes.
Just you are just a lovely person, and thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you for going around these crazy schedules and rescheduling and taking the time with us today. We wish you so much success, and really the sky is the limit for you,
Absolutely.
Sasha, and we can't wait to see where God takes you. We're just can't wait to see what he has in store for you and the
Absolutely.
opportunities to definitely use your gift. Okay, Steph. Well, go ahead and tell the Pitchy audience, the Pitchy podcast audience, what they need to know.
Okay, so don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you can be the first to know when we drop a new episode. And you probably already know that we are on YouTube now. So please search for the Pitchy Podcast and hit that subscribe button so that you know when we drop a new video. And also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Pitchy Podcast for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more.
So until next time, friends, thank you for listening and thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.